I have so many friends like that who are like, let's just keep doing this. And I'll just be like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I want to go home. Let me go.
Let me leave.
Today, we are thrilled to be joined by the woman of our dreams. She's an actress, comedian, writer, low-key a 5-star chef, a musician, and a TikTok sensation.
Yes.
She's hot and you're not, but don't worry, she'll lie and tell you that you are hot because she's a good friend. Lucy Blehar, welcome to Cancel Your Plans.
God. Wow, thank
Welcome.
you guys for having me. Who said the 5-star chef part?
Kyle.
Me.
That's really
I wrote it in my notes app.
sweet.
Well, because everything you post,
It's true. You're
that you're
great
like,
at
I just
cooking.
whipped this up, whatever. It looks fucking incredible. I want you to cook for me,
really
please.
kind. I know. Well, that's why I was like, have I ever cooked for you? I feel like I
No.
haven't.
Actually, yes, you have. You made that pasta one time when we were at your old place. Remember
You've
we came
always
over
like
dinner?
whipped up a snack
I do
or a
love to whip up.
hummus or
Yeah,
something.
like a pesto. I love when you whip up a pesto.
She's not afraid to use a food processor.
Yes, I'm afraid of that.
I'm afraid of that.
It's easy. It makes things easier, actually.
Yeah.
But it is kind of like the intimidation of tech in general.
Yeah, but you're not afraid.
I'm not afraid, but I was just so familiar with the food processors because of my late business.
Oh, right.
My late nut butter business.
Right. Breakfast Queen,
Breakfast Queen.
it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was good. I'll still,
good.
I'll still make batches and give them to pals. So
Yeah.
I have to settle in.
Be careful what you say on the pod.
Well, I said
are-
for pals, not for
People are
you
going to be
guys.
coming for this.
Yeah.
nut
Don't forget, you're not
butter.
her friend. We're her friend.
We're her friend.
Yeah.
Speaking of friendship, how do you feel about canceling plans in general, broadly?
Well, I generally feel really guilty about it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to live a life that is less about decisions based in guilt and obligation. So I feel inspired and freed by you guys because it's so nice when you're able to cancel a plan and have a friend be like, no big. Because I feel
I
like I
do
grew
love
up
that.
with that. Like, and I still have some friends where you're like, I'm sorry, I can't. And they're like, oh no, why not? Or the worst thing is, which
Yeah.
two of your friends, I won't name them, but a long time ago, was at a party at your house and I went early on purpose because I had to leave early. And when I was leaving early, it was
why are
kind
you
of the
leaving?
same thing. They're like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you. Why are you leaving? And I'm like, we don't need
The
that
negative energy.
I did that to you at Asha's party last weekend, and I afterwards I
It's-
went. I was just that person who went. You're leaving.
No, but you
I
actually
came late.
You did it. You came late.
I came late, and then you were leaving at a responsible time, and I was like, and after the interaction, I went, oh my god, I did that.
but you
and
did
it's
it. You
gross.
did it in a sweet way. You were like,
Did I?
You were leaving. Like I wanted to see. Like you
Oh, okay.
weren't. I didn't feel like it was negative in any way.
Okay, good.
It was probably bitchy.
It probably was. Oftentimes.
Well, it always comes from a place of like, oh no, like Lucy's leaving. She's essential to the fun of the party.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you
You're a
guys.
party maker.
How does it feel knowing that as soon as you leave a place, the fun drops?
I don't ever feel it because the fun stays with me. So I guess I've never thought about that.
Okay.
I guess
The
I've
fun
never
don't
thought-
stop.
I guess.
Uh-huh.
But your question in general is how do I feel about canceling plans? I think there's a difference between flakiness and canceling a plan.
Oh, for sure.
So do you guys identify on like, where do you identify on the scale of that?
Well, this has been an evolution.
Yeah.
I think.
It evolves.
I, for a long time, was like burdened with a lot of responsibility and having to be a million and one places so that when I was finally sort of like grabbed a hold of my my schedule and my obligations, I kind of went drunk with power. And I started saying no to a lot of things. And then through doing this show, I was like, I now feel guilty about
Right.
bailing on things all the time. I'm going to start saying yes to more things. And now I'm saying yes to too many things and bailing on things again. So now the snake has begun to eat its own tail.
Circle.
And yeah, and I feel guilty about it, but sometimes you just run out of energy and you got to be okay.
Yeah.
I want people to make me feel less guilty about it. You know?
Oh, of course.
Like I want this podcast for me today and always to be, and which I think it is, something that assuages the guilt of people who cancel plans. But again, not flakes. That's
right,
different.
because you're right. There's such a difference between flaking, and on the pod, we have dissected the maybe of it all and the TBD. We need to stop doing that. If you hear a plan and you know you already have 2 plans that night, or you're gonna, I do this, like if I know I'm gonna get my period that weekend, I'm like, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna go to this because I might not be feeling great. Rather than saying, maybe I'll try. It's like, the no is a lot better
Yeah.
ultimately, and it creates a less flaky. You will become a less flaky friend if you just say, "I can't make it."
Totally. And then you take a burden off your own plate
Yeah,
of having to later be like, okay, now I have to say no.
right.
rather than just in the
you delay
moment.
it. You're delaying
Yeah.
it.
And it is fun in the moment if you catch it, because I'm definitely a maybe person because I'm a Libra and I
Sure.
do
I'm
wanna,
a Gemini. I like maybe too.
Yeah, and I do want to go out and do a lot of things. But it does feel, talk about drunk with power, it's fun in the moment when someone's like, want to go do this? And you're like, no. Because then
Yeah.
they feel like it liberates them in a way. It makes everybody feel like, oh, this is refreshing. We're
Yeah.
all just being honest.
Yeah. I love to say over my dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that, even if I'm not, beyond being busy, if it's a thing that genuinely has no interest to me and I'm friends with that person, I love being like,
No.
I would sooner die.
Wait, so what's like an over my dead body thing that you guys, if someone invited you to?
10 p.m. dinner, Santa Monica.
Escape room.
Escape room, 100%.
Oh,
no
I love
offense,
escape
Mary. I
rooms.
hate an escape room.
I love how Lucy knew instantly that I was gonna. If you said let's do an escape room, I would do it any time of day.
Really?
10 p.m. dinner.
Oh,
Santa
we've talked
Monica.
about this. Joey wants to do an escape room. Go with Joey to an escape room.
Oh, I would love that.
Claire would do an escape room.
Yeah,
And so would
I
Louis.
definitely have a lot of friends who would do
Let's
one
do
with
that.
me.
Let's collect people that Mary can go to an escape room
Yeah,
with.
And send them on a field trip, and then we'll just go drink somewhere.
Yeah.
That sounds
I
better.
love escape rooms.
And then we'll say, come meet us up with us after.
Wait.
And
Oh,
tell,
yeah.
tell us all about your fun time.
Yeah.
And we'll be lubricated enough to be
And
interested.
we'll be like, oh, that sounds like, oh, you solved a puzzle and escaped just like every other escape room. And
Have you even been to one?
And you
Have you
paid
even
for
been
it?
to one?
Yeah, I've been to one. I've been to two.
No.
And they were so stupid and
hasn't.
boring.
My life's an escape room, all right? I don't need to start creating puzzles and challenges for myself. Thank you very much.
Oh God.
And over my dead body for me, I was actually talking to Claire about this because she was like, are you going to be at Secco? There's these two bars that are next to each other that I frequent. And she was like, will you be there? And I was like, no, but what are you? She was like, well, I'll be at Stella. It's right nearby. And I was like, what are you doing at Stella? And she was like, there's a going away party for a friend if you want to come. That's over my dead body. Anywhere I have
interesting.
to go where there's not homies and I have to scream talk over music,
Yeah.
but there's no dancing. If there's no dancing and it's just loud and we're just standing there
The
screaming
acoustics
talking,
of it is horrifying.
unless you're my
Yeah.
best friends.
Right.
And then it's like, why aren't we just at my house?
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I'm gonna stand here, scream, and then take breaks from screaming to go get an $18 cocktail.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, if I'm going out with a friend, I want to socialize. I don't want to,
Catch
and
up.
that counts for comedy shows, any other type of show, the movies even. I love going to the movies sometimes, but that's like when I'm in the mood to go and not talk for
Yeah,
2
yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
I want to. Let's get real. Let's sit down. Let's have a cocktail. Let's get a small plate. Let's get into the. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want you to describe what's happening with that sicko at work.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're gonna hang out, you want it to be like an authentic experience where you are actually talking to your friend and you're like catching up. We don't need to play sure, there are nights where you're like, I just want to dance. I don't want to talk to anyone. Sure, you and your friends can do that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to like really make a plan, it should align with like what your values are in that friendship.
I guess we're all kind of quality time type of love language people.
Sounds like it.
When was the last time you had like you were sitting in a moment and you went, oh my God, they're really just out here wasting my goddamn time.
Oh my God.
That's a hard one because I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah. Present moment excluded.
Right. I do feel like my time is being wasted right now.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I love
Fair.
you guys.
This is a huge waste of time.
Wait, and then because the thing I just did freaked me out in a way where I do want to talk about like the three girls in White Lotus and how uncomfortable they are when they're like, oh, I love you, and we could just spend a whole week together.
And they're talking about hanging
And
out
they're like,
rather than
"And
actually hanging
You
out.
look so good. Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
I think I've been pretty good at boundaries and only doing things that I want, but my fucking landlord.
Okay. We're getting into property.
My fucking landlord today or tomorrow's the last day I ever have to deal with him. This person is one of the maybe I'm speechless. I'm
Yeah.
speechless.
Let's get into it.
He
Oh no.
is, and I don't like to say this about people, a waste of space.
Oh, boy.
He is also, I feel bad for him, one of the most unwell people I've ever met, but in a way where I'm like, your presence is wasting me away.
Mentally or physically unwell or both?
But I think mentally mostly, but he's a smoker.
Got it.
I guess he's
Got
physically
it.
unwell.
Okay.
This man came over the other day to like give tours. And this is an apartment, as you both know, we're moving out because there's mold and because the landlord's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, he's off his gourd.
This fucking guy. I could make my own whole podcast about this man.
Yeah.
So he was like, I have 7 showings today. Can you guys,
Jesus.
is that cool with you? Which is not supposed to be legal that they show people while you're in the apartment.
And
But we were
7,
just-
that's
Have
the
you
whole
reported
day.
him?
We've tried. I'm still trying. There's like a lot of loopholes and it's hard to like actually get a settlement from
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
But he had 7 people come through, and because he's wasted my time so much in the past, I decided I would sit there at the kitchen counter and sabotage every single viewing, and
Nice.
I did. I meant to tell you this. I think I told you this.
Oh, what did you say? What did you say?
So every person who came through, they would kind of like look at us and they'd be like, have you liked living here? And in front of our landlord, we'd be like, I mean, it's been hard to get things fixed. And he would be like, well, no. What? And then we'd be like, no, you
Wow.
left a gaping hole in the ceiling for 2 months and there was rain damage, which is why we have mold poisoning and there were rats in the walls. And I just said that shit in front of everyone and the landlord. And then he would like go outside to get another person. And then and so like while the other person was still inside with me, I'd be like, don't do it. Don't move in here.
I love it.
He's
Is he?
a waste of my fucking breath and livelihood and energy.
I'm so.
Did he
psyched
ever
for
try
you.
to talk to
Thank
you,
you.
privately outside of the showings and be like, oh, like making up?
No, I mean, he'll text us.
He was terrified.
He texts us like insane shit all the time. After everyone left, he was kind of like hanging around. He was like, do you guys like Justin Bieber? I like Justin Bieber, but he's gotten really skinny. And he's like, he loves my brother and he's very sexist. He hates me. He came to one of our shows once, drew a picture of us in his diary, which is fucking weird, and then came over to set a rat trap the next day and told me that I need singing lessons and I should sing more like my brother.
Oh,
And he was like, all the tenants who are coming are mostly women and very uppity as per usual.
oh,
And I was like, I
got it.
am seeing red.
You know what that kind of reminds me of is, when people go on college tours and the people who go to the college are like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
dude. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a waste. It's a beautiful space. This man is scamming you. You also might have long-term health problems living here. What supplements are we meant to be taking?
Lou.
How are we supposed to figure out any of this? Could they just restructure this whole entire thing so that we get the help we need? Let's get
When
political.
we need it.
Let's get political.
When we need it.
I mean, ultimately, we should be getting it from our food, but our food's killing us.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And that's why I'm kind of like, should we
Leave.
leave?
I think we should leave.
If it gets to a point where it's so jarring that it's not only that much more affordable, but also healthier to just be living somewhere else,
Yeah.
then like, I don't know, I'm open to it.
I'm definitely feeling like once I get my big bag, I
I
want to
can't
stay.
wait for that big bag.
I'm excited for the big bag. And once I think I'll stay in LA forever, but I've been really dreaming about my house in Mexico.
Ooh, that's. I
think that's what I
That's
want.
like tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's
Do you want
fast.
chickens? Do you want to have like chickens and goats and stuff?
No, because then I'd have to stay there for a long time.
Yeah, you'd have to hire people to take care of them.
Wait, I'm
Chickens
so-
just have the feed. You just sprinkle a little sprinkle.
Yeah, I guess I could have someone who lives there. I mean, I could rent it out, Airbnb it while I'm not
Yeah,
there, and, be
and have a
like,
chicken
if you're a
feeder.
tenant, you also have to feed the chickens.
I would love, people would live for that, like
Yeah, but
renting
also-
out a homestead.
If you don't want chickens, like, don't let me be like.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I don't want
I was like, what do you
chickens.
mean you don't want chickens?
Do you want chickens?
Fuck, kind of. Not. I don't even feel that strongly about having chickens. I don't know why I'm putting my.
I think a lot of people want chickens now. The
Pressure's on
eggs
you.
are so pricey.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Where are all the fucking people over the last few years that were like,
Who had
I have
chickens.
chickens and like I have too many eggs. Someone take my eggs. They're being real quiet.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're-
Haven't heard from you guys.
That is actually super true.
The
I
fuck's
hate
going
that.
on? Mail me some eggs.
hoarding your eggs. I actually know of a chicken coop in Echo Park
Oh.
where we could go and get some eggs from.
Okay.
Okay, is it an open door
But
egg
they
policy?
lay like 1 egg a day.
Yeah, it's when you're not like being like pumped with hormones, you don't really lay as many eggs.
Oh.
I grew up with chickens.
Oh.
You did?
Because I grew
Oh,
up
that
on a
makes
farm,
sense.
and
Yeah,
my
yeah,
parents, my mother, not my dad, would occasionally buy like a whole flock of chickens, but they would one by one be eaten by owls. And
Wait, the
can I-
chickens were eaten by owls?
yeah, and can I tell
Or
you
the
what owls
eggs?
do? No, not the,
The owls,
eggs.
the owls ate the chickens?
Uh-huh. And they only eat their brains. And they
Like a
leave,
zombie?
Uh-huh. And they leave and
Zombie.
and they leave their bodies, which is like, I'm sorry, like juicy chicken breasts on the ground without heads.
So
So
then do
you were
cook-
like, why are you eating the brains? The thighs are right there, baby. Fry them up.
yeah.
But owls, like we had an owl problem where we lived, I guess. Like obviously foxes and things like that would get in. They'd eat the whole chicken, but owls in particular would swoop down,
Peck out the
pick up
brain.
That's crazy.
chicken, eat the brain, and leave the body.
That's wild. Whoa.
So my mom eventually said, "I can't do this anymore. This is a bloodbath."
So
So
wait, wouldn't you then just cook the bodies if you found the carcass?
I don't remember
or
what we
no?
did with the bodies. I'll be honest.
Are you a wing or a drumstick or a flats girl when it comes to chicken?
What's flats?
Yeah, what is
Flats
that?
are like the chicken, like the chicken
Like
wing
this
flats. When you get the drumstick or the flats, you know what I'm talking
I've
about?
never
Oh, the
heard of
flats
the
is like the
flats.
triangle part.
Yeah.
I'm a flats for
You're
sure.
flats?
I love like a breast. That's a flat, right?
No, like when you
No,
get
it's
chicken
like this
wings, the
part.
flats are the ones
don't
that are like the
know.
two that you break in half.
Oh, I like the wing. I like the wing.
Have you had? Do you not get chicken wings? Are you not a chicken wing person?
I honestly, I don't crave it. I like chicken breast.
Okay, you keep on coming back to the breast. I feel
I
like
do.
your breast is important to you.
I just like a chicken breast.
Say
Look,
more about the breast.
if there's wings around me, I'll eat them.
But you're like, let's get down to
But
business.
I
Give
don't
me
want.
that
I'm not like into like feeding off a bone. You like that?
You
huh?
are.
a little bit, yeah.
Now that I'm back on my carn,
Karn, yeah.
I think I would eat a chicken wing. They always kind of grossed me out before, but I'm like really surprising myself with the type of shit I'm eating.
Yeah. What was
Like,
the
I
last
ate-
thing you
Yeah.
had that you were like, whoa, I really did my big one here?
Oh, I had beef tartare, steak tartare,
Whoa.
or beef carpaccio.
That's-
different things, but similar.
That's
vibe.
raw beef.
I had raw beef.
Yeah, but you were like, I feel
Oh God.
It felt it was a momentous night. It was when Adrian was like, "Be my girlfriend," and gave me flowers. and
Adrian
stuff.
is Lucy's boyfriend. For the listeners who don't know.
Adrian's my boyfriend, and so I was kind of like caught up in the moment. We went to this wine bar, and I was just like, "Let's just have this bottle," and then he was like, "Let's get the beef tartare,"
And
and
you
I was
said-
like, "Whatever," and it was really good.
It's romantic.
yeah,
That's romantic.
it's romantic to just like have the blood of a beast
Have you-
grow me strong.
This is your corner of the internet, so I'm sure you've seen it. But like that really hot, like skinny model girl who only eats like raw beef every day.
Oh, Ashley English, you sent me her.
I sent you a video
Yeah.
and I was like, this is insane.
She drinks like raw eggs, raw beef,
I was like, this
raw
seems
milk.
like a joke, but it's dead serious.
Yeah.
She seems
Piles
like
of it.
She seems like she might be dying. And Lucy goes, I sent this to Lucy being like, isn't this hilarious? And Lucy was like, I actually love her. I think she's doing a good job. And I was like,
I was like,
all
I
right.
follow her. I love her. Well, I love anyone online who's just like, this is what I'm doing.
and it's
Yeah.
And they're
Oh.
just like not afraid.
no, for sure.
As long as they're not harming anyone. I mean, you could argue that she's harming a lot of animals.
Right.
But, like, I
and
just
one
had
day
beef carpaccio.
they might find an anaconda-sized parasite in her stomach, and that's for her to deal with, not us.
And that's none of our
And I
damn
hope
business.
she doesn't. I
That's
really
none of
hope
our
she
business.
doesn't. But man, whatever she's doing, she's looking good.
She's looking good. And you know what I like about her is that sometimes when she'll do like what I eat in a day, sometimes her dinner will be like a brick of Parmesan cheese and
Yes.
2 glasses of red wine. And
I
I'm
can
like,
get behind
oh.
that.
I do
Yeah.
love the like bricks of cheese.
Yeah, and she has like a bunch of coffee and like dark chocolate all the time. And I'm like, this seems like
that
you're
stuff-
just a girl.
She's just a girl, but
She's
she's,
just a
also
girl.
eating piles of raw meat.
Piles of raw
of raw
and
meat.
liver.
Yeah.
Yes, and hearts and
I
stuff.
don't like that.
I think also with the way in which all of these foods are shot too, it's
Yeah.
very like it's lit in like a specific
It's
way,
aesthetic.
and it's like kind of graphic.
Yes.
The way like everything looks extra shiny. Something about it, I was like, it churned my stomach a little bit. Where
Yeah,
I
it
was
really
like,
glistens.
but then also like, but then it's intercut with her like being like fabulous and moisturized and being like.
Right.
and eating. Yeah.
Well, I just inhaled that heart right there, so I don't
Yeah.
know. If you want some of this, get some
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah,
I
she's
thought
just
that
like,
was-
I'm reading on the beach eating sardines out of the can.
I love
like, oh.
sardines.
I
I do
actually
love
think,
sardines.
yeah, you're right. I would say half of her stuff, I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking delicious. Like, why not eat that all the time?
Yeah.
And then other stuff, I'm like,
My instinct is to be a hater towards anyone who's
because we're
just
just
like,
jealous.
yeah. I mean, probably yeah. Because to me, I'm like, well, if they can see me, they can get me. So if anyone else is out there being like, look at me, I'm like, doesn't she know that they can get her? What's going on? Who's
Right.
someone control this?
They can get well. We were
So-
we were talking about this recently, where you guys are now that you're having more visibility online. You're dealing with some
Haters.
comments, some haters.
Oh yeah, I'm finding that I'm the most sensitive I've ever been in my entire life.
And are you just
the
deleting
pod?
them, or do you respond, or do you block people?
I delete
Like-
some,
Yeah.
but now I'm like,
Some of them are hilarious.
some are
though.
funny, but also now I'm like, if I'm going out of my way to read them and then delete them.
Yeah.
I'm still getting the effect of reading them, so I'm just gonna be like,
Kinda,
oh,
yeah.
fuck, I'll hit 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, having
Right.
eyes on you on the internet
Yeah.
is definitely a thing that frightens and intrigues me because ultimately, we're here, we have goals, we're trying to
Yeah.
accomplish what we're trying to
Put
accomplish.
out art
But
into
with
the world.
that, it's like you're sort of like opening yourself up to people seeing and vocalizing every rotted thought that comes to their mind. That makes me curious about what motivates you to continue showing up for yourself and being like, I'm not going to cancel my plan to build the life that I want for myself.
Yeah.
Having role models. So other people online, the first person who comes to mind is Gabby. Gabby Wendy. Love you.
Oh, Gabby, yes.
If you ever see this, love you. But just like other people who are really just going for it and knowing that like at a certain point when you have a certain amount of visibility, like of course people are going to be hating on you. There's an entire Reddit forums.
Yeah.
And just kind of embracing the shamelessness of like, okay, am I gonna let the fear of like some fucking basement troll incel man
Right.
who really just is dying to fuck me
Yes.
leave a hateful comment so that I no longer
Yeah.
post anything commenting about those types of fucking guys because I'm scared that they're gonna leave a comment? Or do I just keep going because
Yeah,
in
disregard
real
it.
life they wouldn't even be able to make eye contact with me.
Yeah.
It's like
They're not
this,
leaving
I
their
have to like
homes.
trick myself into this like delusional confidence of being like, oh, the
Yeah.
reason all these people, and it's always men, are leaving these comments is because some part of them is like so wounded. It's just the incel thing. It's like they want female love and attention so bad that the only way they can get me to
Mm-hmm.
fucking notice them is to threaten me and scare me.
Yeah.
And it kind of just fuels my fire more. And I've just been posting ridiculous shit online because I'm like, whatever. Isn't that what it's for?
Yeah.
It's like I've already embarrassed myself as much as I can online. So, and I still have friends. So like, who
Yeah,
cares?
we fuck with you so hard.
Thanks.
We really are just
and
like-
likewise.
And you also have an abundance of followers who love, laugh, and live for your videos. Literally, like you win. If you look at the comments on your videos, like so many people are like, "You just made my day. This made me laugh. I'm having a hard time. Thank you." Like, so the good always outweighs the bad.
Yeah, it is really sweet. I think it'd be different if like the majority of the comments were like, I would be able to tell if I was like
Yes.
a pariah.
But I love that. Yeah, let go. Let them be this scary incel. It's not going to affect what you put out there.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, that's like not reality.
Yeah.
That's not
Correct.
my reality until I'm like driving down the street and there's like a parade of incels being like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Then it's like,
Correct.
it doesn't actually affect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel good. I mean, I had to block someone yesterday that like always is commenting on my shit because I was just like, ugh, I don't like this feeling
Yeah.
of it's like this dread that kind of
Go
seeps in.
outside. Make
Yeah.
something, fucking
Yeah.
loser.
Right. Try making something and see how you feel.
That's
Yeah,
what
do
I've
something
been-
productive. Like none of them
Yeah.
ever have any posts up.
Never. I feel like
Of course not.
I've talked about Mimi like 6 times today, but that's another Mimi Von Schack soundbite that
Love her.
that we've been discussing in life often is that like there's both of us have had sort of like increased online presences lately, and again because she is also like a woman in comedy,
Yeah.
men online have said just hateful shit to her, and she's now just been like, make something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Go on, fucking
Make
make something.
something
Oh,
better,
you can't.
you think.
Yeah,
you
you
can't make
won't.
shit.
You
You
won't.
can't, and you won't, you coward. So that's been like a thing that I've carried with me of just being like, ugh, oh, how sad. And speaking of blocking people, a fun thing that I've been doing lately is on random posts of things that like. Even some people I do know, some people I don't. Sometimes it's on ads. I'll go in like the comments section and see people like talking crazy because they're like, it's the internet. I
Yeah,
can say
I
whatever
can
I
yell
want.
into the void.
And I'll just go on blocking sprees of strangers, never having interacted with them.
Oh,
that I'm
interesting.
before we even come close to like touching tips on the internet, I don't even want you to have access to what I'm putting out there.
Smart.
So I just go out there and I
Kyle.
silently just kind of remove people from my potential audience.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And it
that
feels
is
like, yeah, I don't
that's
want
some
anyone
like
to hear this.
PR shit.
This isn't for you.
You could be getting paid to do this for like a celebrity. That's
It's just
some,
fun.
That's some like forward thinking.
It's just nice to be like, oh,
Yeah, I don't want you in my corner of the internet.
even if you feel comfortable commenting on an ad for like a new movie being like,
That's
she's
crazy.
fucking gross. Ugh.
Yeah, then I don't
Then I'm
want
like,
you
I don't
seeing
want you-
my
You have no business digesting anything that I have to offer.
I think that's a really beautiful spiritual practice too, because you're telling the universe that
don't
that's
want-
not an energy you're willing to interact with in a proactive way.
Yeah, it's proactive.
So then it's like she'll clear even more things like that for you without you having to click any button.
And it feels good
Very
because also
cool, Kyle.
I tried doing the reporting thing where I was like, I'm bored and I'll be like a
Yeah.
fucking internet hall monitor because I feel the need to control things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just be like, oh, I'll report that because that person just straight up said something, racist or sexist or straight up threatened someone's life, and then immediately Meta will be like, I don't know,
I love internet hall
fucking real.
monitor.
Speaking of the internet, we have listeners that call in.
Oh
Well,
shit, yeah.
Oh my
they don't call
gosh.
in. One
Oh,
day
right,
they
leave
will. I think
stories.
I'm
Thank you for
manifesting they'll
remembering
call
this.
in. But
Okay.
no, we are amazing listeners who are not in the bad corner of the internet. Will often write in and ask for advice about plans or, hey, did I handle this right? Or what should I do? Like that sort of thing. So we have that for you and you get to kind of weigh
Oh,
in.
I give the advice?
yeah,
Yeah.
our guests always,
Wow.
I mean, we'll weigh in too, but you're kind of the main.
Okay.
We want to know. We want to pick your brain
Yeah,
about
we
this.
want to hear how you want to handle that.
So this is actually a really short one, but I was like, it stuck out to me because it was just sort of like just a question that was posed.
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
My dead best friend's widow gave me a no on her RSVP for my wedding. I was best man at her wedding. Should I ever invite her to anything again?
Okay, I think
This is a tough one.
my gut reaction is this is not a thing for you to make this about you. This is not
Got it.
a thing for you to get mad about because this is your dead best friend's widow. She probably can't pull herself together right now to go to your wedding.
Celebrate love.
A tired tradition, by the way. I hope you're doing something unique. And I have compassion for you as well. But I feel like, okay, let's say if I'm in this scenario. Okay, my dead best friend's widow.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
So that's like one of my best friends' boyfriends. But none of my best friends have boyfriends. Okay,
Damn,
let's
get
say
them.
let's say you're
Yeah.
you know what? That was closed-minded of me because I was only thinking of the straight girls. You're my best friend and you have a boyfriend. So let's say you die, God forbid, and Joey was the best man at my wedding.
Yeah, why would Joey be the best?
and then
You were the
Joey's-
best man at our wedding.
I was the best man at your wedding.
got it.
You're dead. I invite Joey to my wedding, and Joey says no. I would not care at all.
Same. I don't think I'd be
would
mad.
I would be like, you know what, Joey? Do whatever. Actually, how can I help you?
There's
Right.
like context to whatever the relationship is, right? Ultimately, like it sounds like you're still talking about your best friend that passed away. You're not labeling that person's spouse as your best friend. So clearly, like your relationship through this person was
Right.
through this one person who is now no longer here, and you were like your best friend's best man. You weren't his
You weren't
spouse's
the spouse's best man.
best man.
Yeah.
So I think that ultimately, like, yes, totally get it. It's like, oh, it would mean a lot to. I understand being like, it would feel like my best friend is here at my wedding if his spouse came. Right? There's sort of a connection there.
Right.
But also,
Yeah,
from the
Yeah.
widow's perspective, I can imagine her being at your wedding and being like, wow, my spouse is dead.
Yeah,
I
it's a
can't
lot for her.
And
Enjoy
you were
this
my
the-
spouse's best friend. I only think of
Yeah.
the love of my life who died when I look at you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're getting married on top of it.
Also, it's like there's other people coming. Like, I don't know, just
Yeah, like
Yeah.
don't make this a thing. And then also, of course, invite her to more things in the future. You're gonna get
Yeah.
mad at her for not coming because she's protecting her peace, and then you're gonna make her feel even more excluded in the future by never inviting her to something again.
yeah.
She might not be going to any weddings for the next couple years because she just can't
Mm.
stomach it.
Or maybe she's doing fine and she's just like, I fucking hate weddings.
Yeah.
Weddings suck sometimes.
They're an emotionally
weddings
charged thing
are
for a lot of
whole
people.
thing for
Yeah.
cancel your
And I'm
plans.
just really sorry that you lost your best friend, genuinely.
Yeah,
No,
that's
a
fucking
very
awful.
sad situation.
I get it being like, oh, like I wish that my best friend could be here. And the only other person that was as close to me as that person was their spouse. So it'll make me feel like my friend is there. Totally get that. However, I'm sure that can also exasperate the feeling of loss that the spouse feels, to be like, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
here's yet another milestone that my spouse is now not here for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I think
Tough.
you're probably both going through a lot, and like if her way of being there for herself is not coming, and your way
to honor
of
that.
coping, it needs to be employing some other close people in your life, and then you and her can mend things beyond your wedding. A wedding is a very sensitive time, and a lot of people get
Yeah.
like really overstimulated in a lot of ways. So I can validate that, but I don't think that this is a reason for you to cut her off.
No, that would just be so unfair.
Yeah.
Wow,
I know, heavy.
that was a charged one.
Some of the shorter ones that are really concise are like, ooh, they hit you because it's like you don't need to say much to like feel the weight of.
But also, like, there's a lot of context that's being missed too. So,
For
like,
sure.
we don't know what that person's, what those two that are now left without this
Yeah.
person here and what their relationship is
Right.
like.
And how long
Right.
it's been since the
Right,
passing.
how long it's been.
Yeah,
There's a
it's a lot
of
lot we're
questions.
missing.
Well, so this is just generally, I personally would be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
it's funny. I feel like especially after like traumatic losses like that, it's at least for me very easy to slip into being like, when other things come up, like the worst case scenario has already happened. That person died. So it's like whatever else comes up in relation to in life, I'm like, well, no one's dead. Except someone is dead. So
Right.
but it's
Someone
just-
is dead, yeah.
No one's dead here. It's just that someone can't make it to a wedding. We've been through the thing that was actually hard. So maybe
Right. If we can get through that, then we can get
then it's
through
like, oh, I
anything.
get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I imagine it would. It probably adds to the frustration of like, well, I feel more bonded with this person now that we've shared this loss together.
Yeah.
Totally.
But
yeah.
it's also a wedding, and
You want to know
weddings fucking
something
suck,
fucked
dude.
up? Like statistically, a lot of best friends will marry the widow of the like.
Oh yeah.
Like in, I think more in hetero. I mean, actually, I don't know like the statistics overall, but a lot of like hetero men will like marry the widow of their best friends.
I believe it.
I have something kind of crazy that's within my family, and nobody died, but it's kind of, it reminded me of this, and I think you guys will both find it juicy if I haven't told you already. So my aunt and uncle, my mother's sister, was married to a man who, and they were best friends with another couple. And then the man had an affair with the woman of the best friends, and then they all got a divorce. And then within the divorce, my aunt and now my current uncle, who was the
Yes.
scorned husband of the woman who
Got
had an affair
together.
with my aunt's first husband.
They swapped.
They swapped.
They swapped.
And they're still, well, I don't know
they
about the other
friends?
guy, but my aunt and uncle are like happily still together.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, they're not friends. No.
Okay,
no,
they're
no,
not friends
no,
with
no,
that
no,
couple.
No. But that was kind of, I don't know, it just made me think of that.
Yeah, that's switching, the swapping.
A little switcheroo.
Interesting.
Well, you can find the two of you are going through the exact same like, well, our spouses cheated on us. You're like no one in the world understands you in that moment more, or like, oh, our best friend, the love of my life, and your best friend just died. Like, let's comfort each other.
Yeah.
Comfort leads to sex.
To the comfort.
Go for it.
The comfort in.
It's a structure made entirely of cum. Ew.
Oh.
This is truly my like mindset has shifted so much to be like, I'm just like a little capitalist now because I'm like if we can't win this
Little
game,
capitalist.
if there's no way for us to win this game other than to
might as
play
well
it
play it.
well,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm saying a lot of like controversial shit on here, but again, that goes hand in hand with me not canceling my plans of saying whatever I want to say and doing whatever I want to do online.
And tell the people how you feel about guns.
More good,
Many and often.
more good. I'm just kidding, you guys.
No, but totally, I get what you're saying. Of just
Yeah, I just am kind of like, okay, it's the same thing with this industry. It's like, how can I, yes, it's very hard. Yes, it's oversaturated. So how can I get smart about where I can position myself to accrue, if not leverage as a
mass.
public figure, than money instead.
Money.
Like our show. Do we talk about that on here or no?
yeah,
We
sure.
can.
Well, yeah, we had this show that's has
brilliant
has
pilot,
been
a
in
brilliant pilot.
pre-production for years.
5 years now.
Yeah, and we were originally supposed to star in it, and now we're kind of like, okay, well, we're just gonna
Too
write it and sell
old
it.
for it.
And I think kind of all three of us have had a mindset shift where we're like, well, let's just turn it into something.
If the pilot is set in North Korea, I'm still taking that check.
I'm still taking that jet to North Korea.
I'm taking that jet. If they
hopping
say
on that jet.
we need a comedy about 2 girls in North Korea
Who can't get out.
who can't get out, I say yes, I'll sign that.
And the antics that come with that lifestyle.
I'll sign that contract.
But yeah, I don't know how I got on this subject, but I'm just kind of like, let's just, how can we fit ourselves into this like moving puzzle piece so that we can all just like live the lives we want to live?
Yeah. I've made peace with the fact that whatever I glommed onto as a child, mentally and spiritually, of entertainment in general, no longer exists. And it's taken. I may as well be sitting here being like, when I grow up, I want to be in the silent films. Like it's just different. It doesn't exist
Changed
anymore.
so much.
Yeah, we cannot through science or magic make it 1998 anymore. So things have morphed to a certain way, and I'm like, well, I'm simply not shaped like that. I can't. Like I was preparing for this thing that doesn't exist. So what? So what now?
Right. Nice pivot.
We gotta pivot. We gotta start taking yoga classes. We gotta bend in the directions.
Yeah.
What was that game? That game show?
Twister?
The game show where there was a wall moving and you have to go. Huh.
Oh, yeah!
That's what we have to do now. We have to go. Huh.
I would love to play it. Does it just knock you down?
It just knocks you down
Yeah.
into the water, but. That's
into
how I'm
the
feeling
water.
right now. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm limbering up. I'm stretching.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bend.
Yeah.
I'm ready to bend over so
I'm ready to.
so Hollywood can have its way. No, that's not what I.
But I think
What I
cancel.
want.
I think like our podcast though is ultimately about like being authentically yourself
Yeah.
and saying no to things that you don't want to do.
Being flexible when you need to be, and then when you start to bend
Yeah.
till it hurts, you go,
you
nope,
gotta stop.
not participating.
Yeah.
One of the cancel plans I'm most proud of was last summer. It was Gemini season.
Ooh.
A tough season for birthday parties.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a friend who was a close friend, I wouldn't say a best friend. She was having a birthday party on the beach, which I think, I'm sorry again, kind of inappropriate if you live where we live.
Fair. I did have my 30th at the beach. But
You did, and that was fun. And I did.
you came.
Me and Aubrey both threw up on the way home because
yeah,
we drank those
you got
kratom
sick.
drinks. But I was like seeing someone new at the time. It was like a beautiful summer day. We were just like laying in bed. There was a pool, and I was like, I'm actually not
going.
driving to the beach, even though I told her I would come for her birthday, because I'm not going to be at my best there. I'm gonna be waiting till I can leave. What good will I contribute? And I just canceled, and that was like really hard for me, and it really like, when you do something for yourself where you're like, wow, I respect myself.
Yeah.
That was like the hardest one, but I think it started me off on this like, oh, I'm not making decisions out of guilt and obligation anymore. I need to, and I still am, obviously, from time to time. But that was one of the hardest ones because like a birthday party is tricky.
birthdays are tricky.
But then it's also like, you can't just
it's
show
far
up to
away.
everything.
No, and it's far away. You didn't feel good. There's so many factors.
I have my own opinions about birthday celebrations in general because I'm just like,
Yeah.
listen, like I'm glad you're here, and if we're real friends, I see you often, and if I can't make it to
Right.
your, I think birthdays are for like acquaintances and like showbiz friends.
Oh, it's a networking event.
Interesting.
Not
It's
even
not
networking. I think it's
intimate.
just like people that I don't see often, or like people who.
Because you don't really get to talk to a lot of people at a birthday.
If both of you told me that you couldn't make it to my birthday party, I'd be like, well, no sweat. I probably saw you 2 or 3 days before my birthday or
Right.
after. Like, I don't need a
Yeah,
reason to see
interesting.
or like you guys show up for me in my everyday life. So I personally would not be upset at a real friend of mine being unable to come to my birthday unless I was like,
Right.
hey, I spent a bunch of money to rent out this crazy place, and
Yes.
like I need you to
Yes.
come. I got a chef. Like that makes sense.
I got a chef.
And if I told you, like, it would really mean a lot if you came.
Yeah.
That's like a different conversation. But if I'm like, yeah, we're at this bar and you're like, I just got off work and I'm fucking exhausted, or like literally like I just got my period and I'm in pain. I'd be like, sure, whatever.
I love when, and I do this a lot too, when someone's like, hey, I can't make it to your birthday party, but I would love to take you out to dinner this month or whenever you're free. And it would just be us one-on-one. Like, because then I'm like, oh, you just want to talk, you want to talk with me and have like an intimate moment. And I get it. You might not want to go to a crowded bar, or you're out of town that month. That makes total sense. So it's just like being like, hey, I don't want to come to this. It's not my bag, but I would offer this instead. I love the like offer.
Yeah.
I'm starting to do that more where it's like, I don't want this, but how about this?
That's very Libra of you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Valentine.
I did that recently with someone who's like just an acquaintance, someone from work, and I ran into her at this like beautiful restaurant that is kind of like a special occasion restaurant for me that I go to with Adrian a lot, and it's just kind of like we go
Spina?
there. Yeah, Spina. And she hit me up and she was like, we need to hang out soon. Like, let's go to dinner. Let's go to dinner at Spina. Let me know when you're free. Da 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 da. And I was kind of like, you know what? I don't necessarily have like the means, energetically, time wise, and even financially to like spend that time with just an acquaintance.
Right.
So I was like, I'm busy right now. How about we do like a lunch or a coffee? And I was like, oh, that's a good option.
Yeah,
Because
offering
that's the
something
other
else.
thing. It's like, it's not even about like canceling plans. It's also about like energy budgeting.
Oh,
And being
yeah.
like, okay, if I'm going to like a bougie restaurant that's like a couple hours and we're drinking and it's
you're
like
spending
it's
fucking
like
cash.
I want to do that with like close
Yes.
people.
Yes,
And not just someone who's, and maybe her situation is
Yes.
different. She's got like money to burn, but like I go there from time to time,
Totally.
usually just with my boyfriend, and like he'll pay for it. Thanks, baby. Or like we'll split it, but it's like that's
Yeah.
an enriching thing.
Right. Yeah. I know
So
exactly
I try to just
what you
pivot
mean.
and be like, I don't have time for that, but I can do a coffee.
I could get caffeinated and go for a walk, and we can
Right.
talk, and we'll be done in like an
Yeah.
hour.
Right. That's why I like to do like a loop around the reservoir or something, because I'm like,
You have
that's
an
45
end.
minutes.
You have a start and an end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are people, I feel like both of you are not these people, but there are those friends too who can just kind of like roll into like every phase of the day and night and just keep hanging and keep
I know.
hanging.
I am not that way.
I'm not that way, and I really honor them, and I wish that I could. I just don't have the tolerance.
And friends, I have so many friends like that who are like, let's just keep doing this. And I'll just be like, no.
yeah, no,
I want to go home. Let me go.
let me leave.
And they're like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing, but that's
I need
that's
to.
all right.
That's important. I need to convene with me
Yeah.
at for a good chunk
But
of the
I've
day.
noticed that like some people in my life will start being like, because they can tell that I'm ready to end, they'll. But by the way, I'm tired too. Or like, by the way, like I have plans later. Like you can go whenever. Like I can tell they can tell. So I'm trying to get rid of that energy a little and be a little bit more positive of like, hey, I'm really loving this time, but I would like to leave soon.
Do they start
Yeah.
doing that because you just start going like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also like, I'll sometimes like if someone's over, like start changing into my pajamas.
Oh, you start brushing your teeth.
Yeah, that's a
I
big
had so much
signal.
fun. Yeah.
You're signaling
Oh,
heavily.
it's so good to see you. And they're like, okay, you're brushing your teeth. I gotta get out of here.
My friend Zoe will do that. You both know Zoe.
Yes.
We also have a podcast it's not out yet, but it's called Whatever I Want with Lucy and Zoe.
Watch this space.
Or with Zoe and Lucy. Watch this space. But she is so good at having boundaries, canceling plans, and my favorite thing, she's just like such a fabulous diva. If you're like hanging out at her house, she'll just be like, okay, you guys, like she'll turn off the music and be like, you guys are welcome to stay, but I'm gonna wash my face and take a shower and get ready for bed. And it's this very like, she's very firmly being like, it's time for you to go, but she always says, you're welcome to stay, but I'm getting into bed now. And so no one's gonna stay.
Of course not. Well,
But I'm
some
like, that's a
people
pretty
would-
fabulous way to just be like, bye.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Like
Bye.
truly, if there's an emergency and you're too drunk to drive, please sleep on the couch. I'm
Yeah.
going to bed.
Yeah, we had after our show at the Roxy, we had people over at our house, and it was like late. It was like maybe 2 a.m. and I had a friend in town. And we were like exhausted because we were planning the show for like a month, and people were just like hanging, chatting, and I just like slowly turned down the music till it was silent, and then I like flickered the kitchen lights, and I was like 10-minute warning. And everyone was
go.
so gracious.
Love
Everyone
that.
was just like,
Well,
"Oh,
that's
okay,
professional.
bye."
You treated it like a bar. Last
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, because I'm just like, well, I'm not trying to stay
No.
awake anymore, and I'm definitely not trying to like keep chatting, because at a certain point you just
you
run
run
out. Yeah.
Oh, you've run out.
This has been an
great.
enlightening conversation. I feel like we haven't seen you in like a minute, so it's nice to just like hang out.
I know it's great to see you guys too.
Just to hold hands and be in your presence is a gift. Lucy, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having
Is there
me.
anything that
thank
you'd
you,
like
Lou.
to like plug or let people know about?
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lucy Blee, Blee.
Which, by the way, her last name is Blehar, but her last name isn't Blee, but that's just the tag.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, my last
Oh,
name is
yeah.
Blehar, but I figured Blee is just cuter,
Lucy
shorter,
Blee.
and sweeter. Also, I guess keep an eye out for my impending podcast
Yep.
that I need to put out soon. And you should check out my favorite band called Big Sis. They are awesome and they're making waves. They're like a UK pop band.
Yeah.
And keep supporting my best friends Mary and Kyle because they're smart and funny and cool.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.